So today I felt something that I haven't felt that often in my life, and that was a pang of jealousy. I normally am not the type to keep up with the Joneses. I don't do things because I see other people doing them. I do things because they genuinely interest me or I want them. So I tend to be not your stereotypical guy in a lot of different ways. And I've tried to focus on, my goals, my aspirations, what can I do? And so I think partially because of that, I've rarely felt jealousy. I have on occasion, but it's been kind of rare. And I think the reason that I did today was because this is someone that I actually mentored at one point in time when I was working at a GM dealership. And so in some ways, I think there's something there about someone kind of surpassing you, I suppose, that is an element of this pang of jealousy that I felt. And I was thinking a lot about it, and I thought, well, there are things that I should probably do. And I have a recognition of how successful I am. I mean, in terms of, large businesses and things like that, obviously I'm just nothing. I'm just, I run my own shop from home, but in the realm of big business, I'm nothing. However, in terms of the population of the planet, I'm not sure what percentile I would fall into in terms of my autonomy and my income level and things like that, the land that I own, et cetera, et cetera. Out of the 7 billion, I have a recognition that I'm fairly high up in that regard. And I have a lot of thankfulness about that, of course. I'm very grateful for the accident of birth that put me in the time and the region that I'm in and that sort of thing that allowed for some of the things that I've been able to achieve. Of course, I've been able to achieve them on my own merit, but it is partially because I've had the ability to do that. And I was thinking a lot about this, and I recognize the irrationality of my own jealousy. Because this person has become, I would say, more successful than myself. They've gone into a field other than automotive, and they've developed a company where they're very busy, they're very sought after, and they have a small crew of other individuals that is working for them. They've achieved a level of qualification in their particular field, and they're doing very well. And that pang of jealousy also comes with a little bit of, obviously, I'm proud of him for what he's done, and he's a good friend of mine. We don't keep in contact all that often, even though I consider him to be a very, very good friend. And to see his success is really encouraging in some ways, and it fills me with pride that in some small way, I think through some mentorship, I may have even assisted him. But again, the pang of jealousy and the recognition that jealousy is quite irrational. And I think a lot of jealousy is irrational because what we do, and what I found myself doing today, and I had to do a course correction and recognize this, is we tend to be jealous of results. We're not often jealous of the effort that it took to get there. We're not often jealous of the responsibility of said position. We tend to be a little bit myopic there, and we tend to put our blinders on and just look at the results, the success, possibly the income, without looking at all the other factors involved and the risk that it took. Because, of course, any one of us who ventures out, especially in business, but in many other fields, or many other things that we may try, endeavors, there's a lot of risk involved. We may fail, and fail miserably. And a lot of people do. I mean, how many business startups fail? How many people, I always think about restaurants in our area, and, they seem to come up and go down and come up and go down. And I know people who've run restaurants, and it's not an easy business. And the cash infusion, the investment required is phenomenal. The time and the dedication is phenomenal. And only to have a business like that fail. And but when we see a very, very successful restaurant where the people are driving their Lexus, in to just check on the place while they head off to the golf course or whatever, well, we tend to be jealous of that. Not having a recognition for the risk that it took and the hard work and effort that it took in the beginning to establish that. And so I just had to recognize that for myself. I'm gonna chat with him a little bit, and we're going to reconnect. We do periodically reconnect and just see how he really is doing, because, of course, most of it has been kind of surface talk. But I'm glad that I've sort of went through all of this jealousy, self-talk before seeing him face to face, so that I can rid myself of any I mean, because I think sometimes jealousy comes with a pang of resentment, and that's not healthy, especially not for a friendship. And a person needs to rationalize it, and put that in its proper place and recognize that the resentment is actually probably regret on some level. Regret that we didn't try harder, we didn't venture out more, we didn't risk more in order to achieve what this person has achieved. And so, in some ways, I think if a person is introspective, I think that jealousy and that resentment is fuel to reanalyze and reorganize one's own life and one's own position and station, and make some decisions. And the decision might not be to change anything. I mean, there's got to be a recognition, of course, of risk and reward, and there's no such thing as reward coming up without risk generally, and a lot of hard work usually. And sometimes, depending on where someone is in life, they may choose inaction. They may say, no, actually, I'm going to stay the course that I'm on, or make a small change. It could also mean big changes are on the horizon. Who knows? But anyway, I wanted to share that a little bit because that's something that has not affected me often, the jealousy, but I have seen in other people. And it's always struck me as kind of a disabling, it can be a disabling emotion, because jealousy really is rooted in a feeling that someone else achieved something that you haven't and possibly couldn't. So please, as always, let me know what you think in the comments below. Bye for now.